The climate crisis has finally been solved. Our climate czar for America, all right, as you know him as the walking Herman Munster named John Kerry, right? This guy decided that it's time to end food to save the world. That's right. Have you heard about this, Jules?
No, not yet. I
Oh,
will in a sec.
this is I can't believe he went ahead and said this. This is big. This is big. I mean, we kind of knew that they were attacking this. This is the way that they were going, to control the food and to
Mhm.
use the climate crisis to kind of control the food. Which, by the way, it's not anymore climate change, not
Ah,
according to this gentleman. All
what
right,
is it now?
now it
What do
is
they call it now?
the climate crisis.
Wow.
Yes,
Yes, makes
yes.
it sound more dangerous and imminent.
Yeah, right. And what was it? Yeah, I remember that video you showed me with Jane Fonda that said that it was all climate change wouldn't exist without racism. So this is racist.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
all
So
those racist slurs, comments, and everything. Yep,
yeah, this is
it's yeah, it's all connected.
it's all racist. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
yes.
so now this guy has something to say. Check out this video.
It contributes about 33% of all the emissions of the world, depending a little bit on how you count it, but it's anywhere from 26 to 33. And we can't get to net zero. We don't get this job done unless agriculture is front and center as part of the solution. But with a growing population on the planet, we just crossed the threshold of 8 billion fellow citizens around the world. We just crossed that in this last year. Emissions from the food system alone are projected to cause another 0.5 degree of warming by mid-century on the current course that we are today.
Not a 0.5 degree.
A 2-degree future could result in an additional 600 million people not getting enough to eat. And you just can't continue to both warm the planet while also expecting to feed it. Doesn't work. So we have to reduce emissions from the food system to keep the 1.5 degrees alive. Why do we have to keep 1.5 degrees alive? Because scientists, as a basis of physics and mathematics, not ideology and politics or party labels or anything else, as a matter of physics and mathematics and some biology and chemistry have told us these are the consequences. And we already see it happening. And almost everything they've predicted for 30 plus years now is coming true, but the problem is it's coming true faster and bigger than was in fact predicted.
All right, so to fight climate change, you must, all right, get this, end agriculture. Right? And you can't, because you can't feed the world if the world is going into a climate crisis. So
That's
you
why
have
we're
to feed.
that's why we're all in this predicament. Everybody keeps eating. Please stop.
Stop eating. Eat, eat candy and canned goods and processed food. Eat your crickets and
Mhm,
roaches, guys. Come on now.
mhm.
And you know what he said? He's like, the predictions of the past, right, are coming true even faster. Is that right? Is that right? Because let me show you a prediction from a 90s news broadcast. You're going to love this, Jules. Okay, this didn't age well.
Action. And finally, a federal report today predicted possible catastrophic warming of the Earth by the 1990s with the strong climate change. I'm Jessica Savage in New York. More news later on this NBC station. The Reagan administration has proposed.
So you see, even back in the 90s or the 80s, right,
Yeah.
right. Well, he said in the 90s there was going to be this catastrophic global warming.
Mhm.
So, man, get ready because it's
Wow.
gonna be bad. And so, according to John Kerry, it's going faster.
Yep. It's accelerating.
It's accelerating, except it's
Yep.
taking
It's
30 years
30 years
more than
slow.
what. Yeah. Do you remember that that one video that we did where it said that what was it? It was 20 years ago, and they said in 20 years, no, in 2024, that Britain was going to be in an ice age. Remember that?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think it's going faster.
Mhm.
So And he says this, he says to rely on the science. I want you to watch this video. This guy is relying on the science, and let's see where science actually gets us.
What is climate change? I mean, I think the question that the young lady asked over here is very valid. Young people are highly intelligent, but I wonder whether they're being told, or which they're entitled to, all the facts in relation to this. When I asked, well, just about Alice, you've been speaking for most of the night. When I asked Tanya Plibersek, was the Deputy Leader of the Labor Party and the potential Deputy Prime Minister, was carbon dioxide the big issue in relation to climate change? And she said yes. I then said, well, that being the case, what percentage of the atmosphere is made up of carbon dioxide? What is causing climate change? Is it carbon dioxide?
Yes, carbon dioxide pollution is a major contributor.
Okay, so can I ask you, this is not a trick question, what percentage of the Earth's air is carbon dioxide?
Oh, I don't know.
And I say, hang on, you don't know what percentage of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide, and yet you're prepared to stand the economy on its head to address a problem, the detail of which you don't know. So when I then explained that the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, Alice, is how much? Alice? How much of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere?
To answer the question, Scott Morrison has said he believes in climate change and that he wants to do something about it.
Alice, how much carbon dioxide is the problem? How much carbon dioxide is there in the atmosphere?
I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
Well, hang on. If you're going to argue the case, you ought to know. It's 0.04%. And of that 0.04%, human beings around the world create 3%. And of that 3%, Australia creates 1.3%. But if carbon dioxide is 0.04% of the atmosphere, and human beings are responsible for 3% of that 0.04%.
Yeah.
And Australia's responsible for 1.3% of the 3% of the 0.04%. It's like saying there's a granule of sugar on the Harbour Bridge. Clean the bridge up, it's dirty. Surely if a political party doesn't know the quantum of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, what the hell are we standing the economy on its head for? Demonising coal-fired power, driving everyone into renewable energy, which is not available, not reliable and not affordable, plonking us in electric cars, giving us nearly the dearest electricity in the world when we're rich in energy resources, exporting coal so that China and India and Japan can have cheap electricity, and we sit here swallowing this ideological rubbish, putting industry at risk, jobs at risk, and burying the economy.
So
There you go.
yeah, Wide Awake Media, great job on that, guys. Because wow, that guy puts it perfectly. I mean, what are we really doing? Because we are making up 3% of all the carbon emissions of the Earth. That means that there is
3% of 0.04%. Because
Right.
total carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is less than 1%. It's only 0.04. And of
Right.
that 0.04, humankind is responsible for 3% of that 0.04.
Right. And even though, like, if we were say 3% of, like, let's say all the carbon in the atmosphere, 3% is us, right? That means that there is 97% that will always be, that the Earth will always create. So net zero is impossible. It's impossible, right? So there was always going to be carbon added into the atmosphere with volcanoes and everything like that, with just decaying, and there's always going to be that. So this whole climate crisis has never been about saving climate. It is about world control, world domination.
Yep.
But is climate change actually real? I will say right here, yes, it is real. All right, I'll tell you this right now. It is real. All right. I was in America, and every year it would change 4 times, right? The changing of the seasons, right? It would change all the time. One minute it'd be sunny.
The climate changes? Oh no.
Yeah. And then the next minute it'd be rainy.
No, I know why. Because there's so much racism in the US.
It's racist. Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
why you have 4 seasons out of the year.
It's racist. Absolutely.
Racism, dude.
It's all racism. So, guys, what do you think? What is the major cause of climate change? And if you believe the science, then can you really go with the science, right? That's like, if you believe the actual science that was added at the end of this video, can you go with the science, right? That they always say the climate crisis people. What do you think of John Kerry? Should he still be the climate czar, as he is calling for the end of agriculture? Let us know in the comments below. Check out our other videos and also the Antichrist videos that we have coming out now. And also check out the other videos we have coming out every single day. If you haven't already, like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications, and we will see you on the next one. See you guys.